so this is our milking parlor. It was built by my grandfather in about 1964. He built a 3-stall barn, and this started to milk cows. And so the parlor has gone through many changes and additions throughout the years. The last major remodel was done in 1988 by my grandfather and my father. I was an infant at the time, or just born, and so the parlor does a really good job for us. But the point of this is not the parlor. What we're going to talk about today is sanitary milking procedure with the cows. It's very important here, as she just said, very important. And at a later date we'll go through the parlor tour and we'll give you an overview of that. So for the people that have, you know, maybe they want one cow to milk for their own, or they want a couple cows, or they have a couple cows and they want to milk, and you know, you obviously don't need a whole milking parlor to milk one cow. You can milk by hand, and you can still be as sanitary as we are in here, and follow kind of the set guidelines from, you know, your state and local type of levels. But so anyways, a couple important things to consider. One is gloves. Your hands have so many tiny the crevices and stuff that it's impossible, that it's very hard to clean. So the gloves make it easy to clean, it's fast, it's very sanitary. So and secondly, you want to make sure that you follow strict, so you want to follow strict protocols in the milking process. So I mean, it's good for the cows. The cows like protein, but and it's also good for the, you know, the people too. And so you want to make sure that you do the same thing every day, like strip, dip, dry, and apply. And you want to make sure that you use a disinfectant on the teats. And it's really important to use a sanitizer. You really want to use something like iodine. I mean, we use, like, I think it's a 1% iodine or 0.5% iodine. It doesn't have to be that, but that's sort of common or popular in the dairy industry. It's widely accepted by the government as, you know, an official way to clean teats effectively. And so you want to use something like that. And then you really want to make sure, and then at the end of the milking process, you want to make sure that you use some kind of a post-dip and something to protect the cow from any kind of infection. Obviously, it's a little bit different if the calf is on the cow, and if the calf is going to continually be, you know, nursing the cow, then, you know, doesn't really need it. But you know, but if you're the only one that's milking the cow, then you want to put something on after you're done to protect the cow. Right now I'm pre-stripping the cows to basically start to get them to think about letting down their milk.
And to get bacteria out?
Yeah, and getting bacteria out, and I'm looking at the milk and analyzing it. I'm checking for sickness or if there's anything in the milk. I'm looking for that. And then also I'm sterilizing the teat with iodine. So yeah, so we're doing a lot of things. My saying about the milking process, or to prepare a cow to be milked, is strip, dip, dry, and apply. So here's my stripping, pre-stripping of the teat, and then my dipping. And so now, that my hands are clean. Now we're going to dry.
How long should the iodine be on the teat for before you dry it?
It should be on there for at least 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds. And there should be about 60 to 90 seconds between when you first kind of touch a cow and start to strip them to when you want to have the machine on to have them be milked. And so now what I'm doing is I'm drying, and so that's going and cleaning off all the iodine, and if there's any, if there's any dirt on the teat or any kind of residue or anything, we're trying to get all that off the teat so it's as clean as possible. And so we use these microfiber towels that are they're very gentle on the cow's teats. You can wash them easily. It's very nice.
And the machine's good because it is only on the teat and it has a tight seal, so it doesn't let any debris into the milk.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It seals right up there, and so that's why it's important to clean the whole teat to make sure it's all clean, because all that is up there. But any other dirt that may be on the, like for instance, like on her leg, like it's a little bit dirty, right? There's none of that that's going to be on, that's going to be getting into the milk or anything. It's a closed system. All right, so now what we're doing, so we did the strip, dip, the dry, and we applied the machine. We milked the cow. So the cow is done milking. And so now what we're doing is we're putting a barrier dip, or we use a barrier dip. It's a post dip that we put on the teats, and it's basically to protect the cow from any kind of pathogens that would get into the cow from the teats. Yeah, so as everybody knows, if you have a cut or something, you want to cover that, or else harmful bacteria can get in. Well, these guys don't have a cut, but it's an opening. It's in orifice, and so you want to protect that, and you want to make sure that nothing is gonna to get up in there and harm the cow.
And it's conditioning too, right?
Yep, it's moisturizing.
Part of their beauty routine.
It is.